Welcome back to another week of YouTube. As you can see by that intro footage, we are just spreading a bit of fertilizer for the for some of the barley, and you can see in that intro that the barley's not overly thick yet, and you'll see a little bit more in the crop tour I'll do later on. It's pretty much the same paddock, they're right next door, so yeah, you'll see that a little bit later on in the footage that the barley's not very advanced, and we're really only out there spreading because we can. We need to start moving over this country, getting the getting 200 kilos out on all this barley country here. Even if it's not really looking for it yet, we just need to keep moving forward while these rainy passes are coming through. So yeah, as you can see, we're out here trying to get a bit done. Now, a little bit of an update on the trailing spreader. We didn't go ahead with it in the end. There's a couple of reasons why. At the moment, there is a fair few people circling it to buy it themselves, but we had a few reasons why we didn't buy it. The main one being is that it didn't have any type of suspension on it at all, so that was a little bit of a downside for us. We've played with single axle spreaders with no suspension before, and it's a very rough proposition. And to be honest with you, driving through sprayer marks, you know, generally they're doing it in the wet. Those runs where the spreader runs, because obviously the spreader and the sprayer run on the same runs, they end up being quite rough, and it's bad enough with a 3-point linkage spreader. So that was one of the major downsides we had to it. I think everything else was pretty much right for it. It was, you know, going to be a pretty good acquisition, but we just weren't happy to spend that money at this time. It was worth the look because it was there and it was relatively cheap, and I'm sure whoever buys it will enjoy having it. But for now, we're just going to stick with what we got. And I think we're talking about putting a bit of an extension just to give us a bit more capacity again. We can cover all of the land we've got with that 3-point linkage one, so it's not really crucial to what we need to do. And if you're lucky enough, you got two bikes out there, instead of using this truck and the auger, we'll use a chase bin, and the filling's a lot easier and simpler, but it requires two people. So that's the idea. Got a spout we're going to make for this. It's halfway made already. We should have done it years ago. Again, usually you use the chase bin, but we really need to get that sorted. Anyway, Joe's out there punching a bit out, as you saw in the intro footage there. And yeah, we're going to go on a little bit of a crop tour. I've got some Narrain Grain updates, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Apparently my drone's making a comeback here. This footage may get a little bit flip-flop because I'm actually doing this spreading on Tuesday, and some of the footage that I'm doing at the crop tour and that was actually done yesterday, so if it looks a bit funky, you'll understand why. Well, we're back at our irrigated canola because I had a few requests to have a look at the irrigated canola. Hope that wind's not too savage on my little mic here. It responded quite well by the looks of it. It is very soft under my feet here now, but yeah, I don't think there was any issues. Starting to get a few of these volunteer problems now. It's going to need a spray as soon as it's dry enough to drive on, but that could be a little while. There's still another couple of mils forecast for the next 2 days, so just not sure how we're going to go getting on here for a little bit. But yeah, it responded quite well, particularly for the big ones. It seems there's still little ones coming up here. Surprisingly, there's still little ones coming. I think those little ones have actually come from the irrigation, so they must have been just dry enough to make the difference, but like the irrigation was enough to bring them up. So look, it's going to thicken up, and I think it'll end up being a pretty good crop in the end. Certainly bulky enough in some spots now that it will need a spray soon enough for sure. Anyway, that's the update on the well, I'm calling it the YouTube crop because I've put it up multiple times now, and It's a little bit of an odd one, only sown on the 27th of March. That was the earliest we've ever sown. And also, that's a water baler for West Corrigan. And also it's been watered, which we don't usually do, so we're just going to keep an eye on this one for the year, I think. We'll go and have a look at some barley and wheat too while I'm cruising around here, but I need to get back into it. I've got some more bales to load. Just a little bit tacky out here yet. People are driving around, but right where the bars are, it's always a pain in the butt. Anyway, I've got a bit of a, let's see what Narrain Grain's up to. Then I'll just get back on the road here. So as a basic start off, I'll just start with the merch. I've harped on about the merch a bit, so I'm not going to take too long. There's plenty of Grain Black hoodies. If you're interested, now's the time to get them. It's getting cold. They are very comfortable, they are very high quality, they are a little bit smaller in sizing, so if you're thinking large, get an extra large is the thing I'd say. No one's had any issues with those guidelines so far as I know, but they are very good quality, and to be honest with you, I think they're priced pretty cheap, so make sure you go and get your hoodies. We ordered the hats, as I mentioned last video. They are on the way, but they will not be here at least for 10 weeks or something like that. The wait time with CTC is always fairly long, so we're just waiting a little bit in that regards. So we'll have some more hats. Stickers are on their way. We will have the restock stickers very soon. So that's the Narrain Grain merch. Just wanted to touch on all the social medias at the moment. If you don't know, because obviously this is just YouTube, we are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, all of them. So if you want to know sort of more up to date with the business side of things, you're probably better to go and follow us over on Facebook. It is our most used platform, mainly because it allows stories, text, photos and reels. So whereas TikTok and that sort of stuff really only does videos. Well, they do some photos as well, but you got to have them in the right format. So if you really want to know what's going on, Facebook's the place to follow us. And you can follow us at all of them, and please do, because you'll see a bit of different stuff. And I thought I'd also mention every Sunday night from 7:30 I do a live on YouTube, and I do a live from 8 to 8:30 on TikTok. The TikTok one's a little bit more popular because it's been around a little bit longer, and I find there's just less randoms get on that one as there is on the YouTube one. So if you've got any questions, you've got any thoughts or queries, or you just want to get involved and have a chat, Sunday night is the night to do it. I'll keep doing that for the foreseeable future. Probably going to scale back on the shorter length videos a little bit, just coming out of sowing, because the content's just not as easy to get. But I will just probably going to keep putting up like edits of the YouTube so you can see what's coming up. They've been quite successful so far, and we are really trying to push the YouTube. So anyway, that's what's going on with Narrain Grain and all the social media. The other thing I say is I'm working on a video regarding header capacity and basically how to achieve the best capacity. That will come out closer to harvest time, but if you're interested in that, give us a shout out in the comments and say, hey, that sounds like a good idea. I'm going to try and keep it as short as I possibly can, but I may have a couple of follow-up videos with some people who are in the know and in the business, harvest there maybe, and a couple others, we'll see. I'm going to be talking loss, talking rotors, talking sieve loss, talking everything. If you haven't followed me for a long time, you'll know that, well, you may not know that headers are a little bit of a passion of mine. I have a fair knowledge and understanding around them, and I want to get a few videos out there to really dispel the whole black magic behind headers and harvesting, because they really are just physics at the end of the day. And I think there's a few people talking about it, but not enough. So yeah, anyway, that's what's coming up. That's a bigger video I'm going to do. But yeah, that's basically what's coming up for Narrain Grain. But yeah, make sure you jump on the lives, make sure you jump on Facebook and check us out. Like, comments, share everything you see, please, because it really, really helps us We're trying to grow this YouTube reasonably quickly. It's already grown at least 2,000 followers in a fairly short space, but we really want to be, I'd like to get well up over 5,000 before the end of the year, which I think we should be able to do anyway. I'm going to keep pumping out 2 videos a week on YouTube just to keep things rolling. I may miss occasionally, just depending on what we're doing, but I'm going to try and keep going to 2. I said I was going back to 1, but I decided it's probably better if I keep putting out 2 just to keep things rolling along and try and build the YouTube community a bit. Anyway, that's enough of that stuff. We'll go and have a look at this barley and see how it's coming along. Also, at this stage, I'm looking to do a bit of a showcase at both Agquip and Henty, with a fair bit of videography and a few reviews, product showcase, that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, you know you're going to be at Agquip and you want us to come around and have a bit of a look at what you got going on and do a bit of a video, a bit of a promotion. If you want us to do any demos out on the farm following, just hit us up. Hit me up at andrew@narrain.com.au and mention what you're looking for. If not, we'll be touching base with a few suppliers and a few makers coming into that time. I think Agquip's August, so we've got a little bit of time, but we've got a bit of a list of people we want to go and see anyway, but we're just going to hit up who we think would be interesting for the viewers. A little bit of irrigation stuff in there, and then a little bit of a mix of everything else. So that's the plan at the moment. Righto, here we are at the barley, part 2 of the crop tour. You can see there's a bit of it coming up after that rain. It's just shooting through nicely, really. A little bit of a compacted area here where we come over the bridge, but as I get further out, it looks pretty good at the back here. I think it'll all thicken up and be quite a solid crop. Plenty enough here for barley. Yeah, it's looking all pretty good, really. A little bit of a thicker patch here. It's on the grey ground's a little bit better in this particular paddock, but yeah, I mean, it was all thin, but I think it'll all thicken up now with these new ones coming through. And it shouldn't have too many issues. Certainly thick enough yet. Yeah, so no issues with the barley. As I said, 200 kilos of urea going on this today. Probably a bit early for it, but there's rain coming. Got to get urea out. Might as well start somewhere. Getting back into the ute, it just started spitting on me a little bit. I think there's 5 mils forecast, so yeah, see what happens. On Saturday, you mean? Making a right mess under here, really. Thank you. Hey.
Give a second.
No, that's it for now. Righto. Let's see. End the oil for now. Right, some more genius of Kenworth here. This one's generally not too bad. This one in here, can't really see it there. Further in there is always a pox, and you can't get to it without moving some lines. I really wonder how the hell they actually think about putting this stuff in here. Like, every single filter on this bloody truck is just a pain in the ass, and I've got 3 of them. Oh, that's the 2 fuel filters on. Hello, the next day is upon us. As you can tell, I'm not a massive fan of servicing, and particularly servicing the Kenworths. That can be a pain in the butt. But they have to do it every 30,000 k, so be it. We're off for another load of corn straw to Holbrook. Had a fair bit of fun mudding that one on halfway through yesterday. It decided to rain, 2 sharp little showers on us, but anyway, we're away again. Now I'm going to whip this one over to Holbrook. So we got unloaded over here at Holbrook. We're just cruising back out the driveway here. But I thought I'd just mention a couple other things I didn't mention. What's up for Narrain Grain piece. Before I left this morning, actually, between these last 2 videos, I actually did a podcast with Jack Creswell from the Farms Advice podcast. So go over and check out that when it comes out. It should be out next week, according to him. It was great to talk to Jack. He's a very easy to get along with man, a very easy bloke to talk to. So go and check that out. Probably have another podcast with the Catch My Drift blokes coming out as well. Hopefully they're going to come down and check out the farm. We might actually make a YouTube of that too yet. And also we have Dry July coming up. For those who've been following me for a bit longer than the YouTube career, that before it started I was doing Dry January back in January, and I had some pretty good success with that, so we're doing it again for July. So if you're interested in jumping on board with Dry July, probably going to chuck some merch at you if you make it all the way through, if you can be honest with me about it. So if you're interested in doing Dry July, hit me up and we'll do it along together. But I will keep you accountable. So accountability is the key to all this stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in doing Dry July with me, you can do that too. Yeah.